My name is Annie Horner. I am 24 years old. I was diagnosed at the age of 18 with a childhood cancer. It was pretty isolating and lonely and a little confusing because I was 18 and my friends and peers were kind of off to college and adulthood and life, and I thought I would be too. But then all of a sudden I found myself in this children's hospital with pediatric cancer and in the fight for my life. So I did treatment for a year. So I was really in and out of the hospital for a year, but pretty much doing constant treatment, whether it was chemotherapy, radiation therapy, surgeries. I got chemo every week. I first started collecting the beads right off the bat after my first 5-day admission. After like a month or two is when I really started understanding the true concept of how it was helping me and what a gift it was to me. As the beads just piled up, it was so nice to have something to look at and feel and think about when days were really hard, and there were some days that I didn't want to go to chemo. I would look at my beads and think of how far I've come and all that I've fought through, and it would give me the strength. It also helped tell my story too, because so many people that cared, would just say like, how is it? How are you feeling? How are you doing? How is it? It's really impossible to say how I'm doing or how I'm feeling. I would just grab my beads and I would tell them about the Beads of Courage program, and then I would show them, these are all the times that I get poked and these are all the chemos that I get. It was just really a beautiful way to explain the story of so much heartache and pain. Beads of Courage was the biggest gift that I got out of my cancer journey and treatment. Thank you so much, Beads of Courage, for giving me this gift and helping me owning and telling and recording my story.
My name is Sophia. I'm 12 years old and a recipient of Beads of Courage. I have cystic fibrosis. So when I was little, before my CF clinic had the Beads of Courage program, CF appointments were really unbearable. I would scream, I would cry, I would throw fits because I was afraid and I was scared that I would get poked. And then our CF clinic paired with Beads of Courage, and after that it was fantastic. I had something to look forward to, and I was so excited to get whatever bead I was able to get. It made the unpleasant experience pleasant. I had to brainstorm different designs, so I have probably 7 different polymer clay designs, and I had to choose what the best one was, and then I had to find the different measurements of like the eyes and the nose and all that, and then I kind of made some just basic steps, and then we would send that to Beads of Courage, and we're going to release it on May 1st, which is May is Cystic Fibrosis Month, Awareness Month. The tiger is a symbol of courage, and it is the Beads of Courage mascot. Going along with the tiger theme, it is also You're the Tiger. So that all kind of wraps into one. It was actually my idea to go with the Beads of Courage for our Silver Award. I showed on my strand of beads, and it really didn't take that much convincing. They were on board immediately. We work really hard, and we put a lot of love into our beads, so that one day when our bead goes to a kid who has been discharged from the hospital, they will feel happiness and love knowing that somebody made that especially for them.
Cole's had, he's got this whole handful of beads here. He had his open heart surgery in July, and he had the Glenn procedure that essentially cuts the pulmonary artery in two and it has the blood from the upper part of the body go directly into the heart instead of through the lungs. He has several things wrong with his heart. He has a small right ventricle, which does not enable his heart to pump oxygenated blood throughout the rest of its body. He also doesn't have a pulmonary valve, which helps regulate pressures of the heart. There's a lot going through your mind when you're first told that you're going to have open heart surgery and the whole 9 yards. You go through the whole range of emotions. But something that I found oddly therapeutic was putting the beads on the line here as we're waiting for him to get out of surgery, and just like thinking about it and thinking about how we want to tell him about this adventure that he's had.
It's really, really special to be able to look at those and just see how far he's come, and especially if you're having a tough day. There was a couple tough days after he had heart surgery, and you can just look at the beads and look at all this stuff that he's overcome, and he's actually doing incredibly well, even though sometimes it's hard to see that kind of stuff. I'm volunteering at Beads of Courage usually twice a week. I go and fill orders for beads in the mail. So when I'm packaging up these orders and I'm counting all of these beads, all of these black beads for pokes and the beads for echoes, knowing that the significance of each and every one of those beads, it makes you put so much more effort into picking out the colors that the kids love and just trying to make it special for them because they earned every one of those beads.
After the procedure, I mean, he was in the hospital for 6 days and he was out. And ever since then, he's been just a normal kid, doing normal things, getting into trouble, jumping off of couches unexpectedly, doing all sorts of things to keep us on our toes. And I highly recommend this program. It's incredibly awesome just for the kids involved and the parents. There's just a big support group that we never knew existed. And for kids that go through such a hard thing, it's important to us as parents to have them be able to remember some of this and you know, the people that have been along for the entire journey. So I highly would encourage you to donate or participate. It's a great program, and you know, as a parent of somebody who's had such challenges, it's reassuring to know that there are just people everywhere that are more than happy to help.
Thank you.
So thank you.